Okay, so hello, I am Captain Krabs. I am a VTuber. That's what I look like when I stream. I've been doing it for a little over a year. I've been streaming for about 6 years. I do DJing. I do art. I make characters. I draw these characters and I rig them. And I do gaming and just random stuff. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you're doing it. Normally I use an iPad because it actually has better tracking, but due to the Wi-Fi, you have to go over Wi-Fi for it. I didn't bring it. So, but yeah, this is what I look like. It's literally tracking me in real time with the camera on the thing, and his hands go up and down by my eyebrows. So it actually, I can like kind of move him around, make him dance, do whatever I want with him, you know. He also has like just an insane amount of costumes because I keep making more stuff for him. You know, there's just so many I can't even remember, honestly. So it's a thing. Let me open my panel here thing. If anybody has any questions too throughout this whole thing, feel free to ask because honestly, I thrive much better on questions and Q&A. But I do have some slides for you guys. I think you guys might like. This is the name of the panel: Becoming a VTuber with Captain Krabs.
Here we go. One more time. That be it, mate. Yar. I like crabs.
That is my intro. Before every stream, I play that for everybody. It's a song I wrote and then just did all the animation on stream, actually. So I wanted to, before I start, just tell you who I am outside of being Captain Krabs. I'm going to show you guys a video. This is kind of weird to show you guys this, but a while back, a guy who does a bunch of YouTube videos about random things started doing things on VTubers, and he made a video about me because he was trying to make a video about, speak to the microphone, I'm sorry. Hello. He wanted to make a video about non-human VTubers, and he just kind of got addicted to the stream, and so he made a video about me, and I'm going to show it to you because honestly, he sums up everything I could tell you right off the bat about me, so I'm just going to play that video. It's a lot easier to understand this way. And he's an amazing editor, so I have his tag on there afterwards. But
Huh. When's the last time you recharged? Creator's a little worried.
I have reserves. I'll be fine.
You know that's not what I was asking. So, this is that wholesome VTuber.
He is a master of the say-so arts, and he can wield what the humans call glow sticks.
And the fate of humanity rests on the shoulders of this crab?
Not just any crab, but a captain. Ahoy there, human friends. I am
Kubota.
and welcome to my channel where I report on everything I've learned about your species. Lately, I've been falling deeper and deeper down the VTuber rabbit hole, and I am constantly inspired by the impressive level of creativity the VTuber community brings. But there was one particular VTuber that stood out, which begged the question, okay, who is Captain Krabs?
One more time.
Captain Krabs is a wholesome, family-friendly streamer on Twitch. He plays games.
he built it with his own stuff, though. It's got like buttons and stuff in it.
Creates art.
I'm gonna just call it Goku. Goku back hair. Goku back hair. Oh man.
Works on his animations.
Whee!
And is a fully licensed DJ. He uses Live 2D to rig all of his models. He also creates all of his own environments and overlays.
And the only other move I know, upward facing dolphin.
He has different costumes and animations he can change into.
Has anybody ever seen this crab go Super Saiyan?
He even developed a cast of supporting characters as well, such as Mr. Pebbles, Buttons, and Karakoi. Now you're probably wondering, what? There's more. Holy crap. He wrote and designed a Captain Krabs children's book, with another one in the works. He developed a whole line of merch, including his very own plushie. And he also runs Seiso Station, a community for wholesome, family-friendly VTubers. Now, you're probably wondering, how does a person with such a wide array of creative skills end up becoming a crab VTuber?
To answer that, let's set sail to a time long ago.
Captain Krabs' first career was in web design, but his interests in video games led him to make this video, which ultimately got him a job in the video game industry. He worked his way up to become a senior marketing artist at a video game company, and during that time, he even launched a company of his own, creating video game trailers and providing compositing work.
It was a lot of green screening, a lot of painting out frame by frame stuff that wasn't supposed to be there, like a cameraman or a reflection. It's stuff that you would never know. Basically, when I'm done, you don't know it was ever there in the first place.
He also worked on Rooster Teeth's post-production, VFX creation, and color grading, including their anime-styled, animated web series, Ruby. And his love for games ultimately brought him to Twitch, where he started off as a Minecraft streamer.
Somewhere in here is a table.
And then, having been inspired by the DJs he had been following, he decided to become a DJ himself. As more and more people watched his DJ streams, he practiced to become better and worked even harder to grow his channel. So much so, that he got burned out.
But then, from the vast seas appeared a ship, as beautiful as a chest filled with tier-free subs. A ship named Mixer.
When Mixer went under, he returned to Twitch, only to find himself amongst a sea of hundreds of other DJs on the platform. But he had an idea.
But I was starting to watch VTubers. I think Nanners was the first one I started watching.
Oh no, you heard me fart. Now I'll never be married.
Before she became like Nanners. Isn't that a weird one? I watched it because of her rap videos. They were so funny.
2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. Quick maths.
After watching more and more VTubers, he became inspired to create something new. He took his popular crab emote and commissioned it out to be rigged, and thus, Captain Krabs was born.
I own this game. I own a minimum 4 copies on PC. I bought it on Xbox 360. I bought it on Xbox One, PS3 and PS4, PS Vita, iPhone. I bought it on Android phone. I bought it on iPad. I bought it on the Android tablet, which is a separate price. I bought it on Switch. I bought it on the Wii U. I bought it on a 3DS. And I'm pretty sure I missed one in there.
But Captain Krabs' creative ambitions didn't stop there. He decided to rework the model and teach himself how to rig it in Live 2D. And the rest, my human friends, is history. So, who is Captain Krabs?
Hi, I'm Brian.
Aside from being a senior marketing artist, a gamer, an animator, a DJ, Captain Krabs is a passionate creator with heart. Despite having a full-time job, he still makes time to stream for his community and shares his love for his craft. He is a caring individual who volunteers as a stormtrooper for the nonprofit 501st Legion organization. He is a husband who supports his wife in all of her creative endeavors and proudly displays her work on stream. He is a father who includes his children in his VTuber journey and enjoys designing and rigging live 2D models for them. And, most importantly, he is an inspiration to all creators, VTuber and non-VTuber alike.
Okay, so it's a weird video because it feels kind of like braggy, but it honestly sums it up better than I could just telling you guys. So what I do for a living, I've been working in games for about 18 years. I started at BioWare, and I was on Dragon Age and Star Wars: The Old Republic for years. I worked on a bunch of games. These are some of them. And then I also worked in TV and film. Just this is all I could fit on the screen. There's so many of them. And I was at like Rooster Teeth on Ruby, Ruby Chibi, and Red vs. Blue for about 2 years, about 3 seasons. Yeah, it was fun. I did a lot of compositing. You have a question? Oh yeah. I'm probably most known for cutting someone's hand off and maybe splitting a robot girl in pieces. But yeah, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, Yang did try to give Penny a hand, but Penny had a split. So yeah, sorry, I had to say it. I know it's bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was working there for 18-hour days for 6 days a week on that show. It was ridiculous, but it was fun. I worked in Hollywood for a while. I did a bunch of just anything you could think of. I worked for the Asylum for a while on their Sharknado movie guys. I worked at, I'm trying to think where else. There was a lot. I worked in a lot of games. But I did start in web design. All of this put a very, very graphic heavy background to me. So and I suffer from very high functioning ADHD. So I'm always looking for some type of project to keep me busy. And like I said, I'm a father. I have a 5 and 7-year-old. I work a full-time job still in game industry. And I try to stream at least 4 days a week on top of that. So once my kids go to bed, it's like stream time and, or catch up on TV with my wife. So it's crazy. I don't know why, but I keep throwing more stuff on my plate. Like we started a store. We actually my wife makes, I design and she makes stickers and buttons, and we did a plushie and I wrote a book and all this stuff because I just want to keep my brain going. And VTubing was just such a great way to get away from being on camera, but still enjoy the time streaming. Because when you're on camera, there's all this stress to it. Because I'll admit, as somebody who worked in green screen, stuff like that, I cannot look at a camera and not nitpick it 24/7. So I would be on stream, but no, I got to fix this real quick. There's a pixel over here, that kind of stuff. And so I just was I can't do this. I'm going to quit. I'm done. 6 years of streaming, I'm done because I was miserable. And so what I did was when I found VTubing, I started over from scratch, brand new channel, just threw away the old one. And I was I'm going to see what happens. And that channel blew up. It blew up in 1 year. VTubing just exploded. And I was right when it started going, it was the right time, right place. And it just got crazy. So now I just keep myself really busy with it. But so for anybody, this has some of this stuff is pretty basic, entry level stuff. So if anybody has any questions that are more advanced, let me know. I'm just doing a summary. What is a VTuber? VTuber stands for virtual YouTuber. They sometimes call them V streamers when they're on Twitch. Some people are picky about it. Some people don't care. I just call everybody a VTuber because it's kind of the term everyone knows. But or English VTuber, which is VTuber. There's some other terms too, but these are the ones that are the most known. This I gotta check this out. This is the technically most known first VTuber ever, which is Kizuni AI.
私の名前はキズナアイです。どうぞよろしくお願いします。その言うと違うぞ。と
She's
思った
Japanese
そこのあな
and
た。
she was literally started in November 29th, 2016, which is,
水源なんです。
I mean, it was way above anything else anyone was doing. She's doing a 3D avatar. I honestly don't even know what software they were using or if it was proprietary or whatever, but she now has her own, they have a company based
私は
around
みんな
her
と
one
ちょっと違
character.
うんです。だ
I
から
think
興
this is the
味があり
second
ま
or
す。
third voice
人間の
actor
みん
for her
な
now at
た
this
く
point,
さん知
but
りたい。
she's
仲良
literally
くなりたい。そんなことを考えて
this
YouTube を始めてみまし
super
た。
celebrity. It's
私も
crazy.
みんなが楽しんでくれるよう
She's
に
still going, which is
ライブ
crazy.
配信とか未来っぽい感じの
Sorry, it plays forever. So I did it. This is why to become a VTuber, and these are the basic stuff. So it's anonymous, right? I mean, some people, I know there's people who have had problems, on stream, and Twitch especially can be pretty toxic to people. Especially female streamers can. I mean, I've seen what some of them have to put up with. It's ridiculous, and and it's nice to be yourself. And when you're a VTuber, you can literally be yourself, or you could be somebody else. You can literally be a character and act it out, or do voice acting, or whatever you want. And and if you're camera shy, I mean, you don't have to feel like you're in front of camera, right? It's a virtual version of yourself. Streaming with cameras can be expensive. If you want good quality equipment, it gets really pricey. I think I have 5 web cameras. I mean, when I was DJing, I had like 5 cameras in the room. I had 18 lights. I was doing like this crazy, I don't know. Let's just say the power company hated me a lot. They would send me warnings every month about I was using 200% more than the rest of my neighbors. And you could be a non-human. So like I went with the crab because I was like, you know, like the crab rave was really big at the time, and I'd made the emote for the crab rave. I was like, oh, I need a crab rave emote. And then I was like, I can make this into a character. It's more comfortable, right? I mean, you literally are somebody else, you know, or you could be yourself and just be a virtual version and look how you want and be who you want. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of good reasons to do it. And right now, VTubing is kind of exploded. You know, it's like, it's getting crazy. I mean, Crunchyroll now has their own VTuber. You know, Netflix has their own VTuber. Sonic Team is making their own VTubers. It's, yeah. So this is like I said, this is all pretty basic stuff, but this is like what software you can use. So for a 2D VTuber, which is what I am, it's 2D art. The common one, and these I'm just listing some of the basics. The common one is VTube Studio, probably is the biggest one right now. It's on Steam. It's technically free. There is a plugin for like the webcam tracking that you do need to buy. I think it's like 15 or 20 bucks. It's not bad. I mean, it's well worth the investment. PRPR Live is also another free one. That one has advanced tracking, which is another plugin you can buy. Honestly, you don't need it if you're just doing a webcam anyways. Creation, the big one that everyone uses is Live 2D Cubism. That does, if you ever want to learn that stuff, it is complicated. There is an insane amount of tutorials on YouTube for it. But it does have a big learning curve. It took me a while to figure it out. It has a 41-day trial, which is really weird, which is like an unlimited trial. Like, no, just 100%, you know, you got it for 41 days, and then it's about 20 bucks a month if you want to keep going. So you got to make sure if you want to do it, you're going to start making money on it probably to pay it off. Let's see. 3D people, they end up using VC Face is a very popular one. I think VC Face is free. I'm not sure on that 100%. 3Teen is free. It's on Steam, but it is all in Japanese, so it's really hard to use in my opinion. A lot of people use Vroid. Vroid is a free program to basically create a 3D model. If you want to do a 3D model, it's free. It's 100% free. Like you can get, it gives you hairs and stuff. It's just limited. Like if you really want to get more advanced, make your character more customized, you're going to have to start learning how to do these models. But otherwise, you know, like literally you could start with Vroid and do some tutorials and you'd have a model, you know, 20 minutes probably. So it's definitely a way a lot of people go. They'll go this way because 2D, like if you want to contract out somebody to do 2D or 3D modeling, 2D tends to be more expensive a lot of the times because you have to have somebody to draw it and possibly somebody else to rig it because it's not always the same person. It can get pricey. I mean, people put up to $10,000 in their models, which is crazy. 3D models, I find like overall they can be cheaper, but you still could put a few $1,000s if you want a good one. I always tell everybody, start with a free model. Always start with a free model. I mean, you can always change how you look. You can always change it up, you know, like find who you want to be first. You don't have to be, you know, it doesn't matter if you're playing with a generic model. I had a friend who decided he wanted to go into it. He was going through a lot of changes and he was going from male to female and he was like, I don't want to be myself on camera yet. I'm not comfortable with it, you know, and I was like, why don't you just become a VTuber? You know, like you're going to love it. And he's like, oh, maybe. And he went and got Vroid and he got a model and he got a female model. And now he's like, he bought like an expensive model and he's like 100% invested, you know, like he does VR chat and all this stuff and he loves it. It's just like his life, you know, he lives it. So, which is great. Let's see. This is the other option. I do recommend this too, which is, they call them PNG tubers. Or PNG VTubers. It's literally what it is. You're using it just an image. You can do, there's a program which is free or you can donate, which is called, I can't pronounce it, Vadotube. It's kind of a weird thing, but what it does is it lets you set on and off. So you can have 2 images, one with the mouth open, one with the mouth closed. And every time you talk, it detects your mic. It's like a little program you run on your desktop and it just, you know, goes bop, 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 bop. Like it's a Muppet, basically. But that one actually lets you put in blink animations as well. So you can actually put in a GIF. So you could have a character kind of just like sitting there like this. And then when it talks, it goes like that kind of thing. So like in blinks, which is really cool. So it's a really good way to do 100% free something if you have a drawing you want to use or something before getting into something more advanced. So it's pretty cool. And GIMP is a free alternative to Photoshop. I'm a Photoshop user myself, but Photoshop's expensive. GIMP is 100% free and a little bit of learning curve too, but I mean, it's actually a really good software. So, and it's 100% free, open source. So if you want to start doing that kind of stuff. I actually started on my Discord, I started a VTuber Reese's post. It's like a giant list with links to everything you could possibly want. Like literally it's like all the software and what they do. And I have little notes on it, like what's good, what's free, what's not kind of thing. I'm hoping to keep going with it and keep putting more stuff as people ask for stuff. So it's basically a link dump of very useful VTuber resources. And I'm also starting a very big archive of free resources like art and stuff like that people have given away, which a lot of VTubers actually create art, hats, things like that, and they just give it away. So it's pretty cool. The whole community can be very giving at times, so it's kind of cool and supportive. So this is Q&A. If anybody has any questions, sorry, I made this a very short panel because I was just like, if you guys have any questions about anything specific, yeah. But yeah, so that's Captain Krabs. That's what I do. Been doing it for a little over a year, and that's, yeah. Any questions? Anybody? No? Yes? I'll admit I don't collab as much as I would like to. I joined a group. VTubers, there's a lot of groups and teams and stuff like that. I joined one called Vadotube, which is like, it's basically means cute. It's like a cute group. So everybody in there is like a very cute or chibi kind of like comfy streamer. I'm considered family friendly. I don't do anything that's not family friendly. I don't play games that are T or above. Even my DJing, I just don't play things with cuss words in it. And that's mostly because of my kids. I just wanted them to be able to watch the content I create. So I always tell people, I was like, I support every type of VTuber. I watch all the other ones that aren't family friendly. I'm just, on my channel, I just keep it clean. That's it. There's nothing else to it. It's not like I'm trying to play kids, little kids games 24/7. It's just, I just don't cuss. And so a lot of the, there's a lot of collabs. I find it a little harder as a family friendly to find people that can come onto my stream and do it because they'll just drop an F-bomb right in the middle of a stream and you're like, oh, come on, man, I told you, don't do that. Yeah, collabing is definitely one of those things that VTubers love to do. In that video I had at the beginning, there's like a big group of it, and that's the Footopia group. We had like 8 people, and that was utter chaos. But like people love to collab, and it's really big. I mean, there's some streamers that literally collab every single stream. They'll have at least one person, even if the person isn't playing a game, they'll play like a retro game, and the other person's there for commentary. They're literally just talking with them. So, did you have a question too? You said? No, one of you guys said. What is her name? You know what I'm talking about? Wow, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I'm so nervous to do Google searches on here, but let's see. Is that her name? Is that how it's spelled? C-I-M? R-A-I? A-I, like that? Is that it? See if I can find a picture that's not raunchy. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be some in here, sorry. Well, okay, just went to me right here. This girl. This is a $10,000 model. She has a very well-known rigger that did this model, and it's about $10,000. That's what I heard. It's got a lot of different things you can trigger.
What you see?
I have no idea what she's saying. She is not a family-friendly streamer, just a heads up if anyone wants to check her out. I would say probably about 90% of all YouTubers are not family-friendly.
What I see.
Just a heads up of that, like you never know if you're gonna But yeah, that's a $10,000 model. So she has a crazy model. It's I don't know about 3D models. I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone paying that much for a 3D model, but a lot of times what it is that they have a lot of things they can trigger. So like my model, I have 37 costumes I can trigger, but I rigged it all myself and drew it all myself. Like if I would have done that for someone else, that would have been a very expensive model. Like all those costumes, like you have to rig the physics and the movement and everything on them. So it can, and draw them. And most likely, I think this person, the rigger actually drew it too, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's some people like she started out like she got that model. I think that's how she started streaming was like with that model. Like, and she just blew up. She was partnered streamer, I think, in less than 6 months. Like, it was crazy. But she had a lot of like publicity and teasing up to it. Like, people knew it was coming. They were really excited about the model. Like I said, the rigger's well known, and so like it was like a big deal. And yeah, I mean, she just exploded. So it happens. I mean, I've seen some VTubers like. I would say a majority of the, especially on the Twitch side, a majority of the biggest VTubers started last year, which is crazy. Like literally VTubing exploded. I would say October was probably like the big pinnacle when it got up like October, like late end of the year. But like, and then January and stuff when like the HoloLive, which is the biggest group, they're on YouTube, like Gargura and stuff like that. And they made the English ones, and they are just Gargura was like the fastest growing YouTube channel ever, I think. With her thing, she had like 1 million subs in a week, I think. So I mean, it's like there's a lot to it, but they have like that's a company, so that's a company based group of VTubers, and they are backed and marketed. So they are exactly what you think they're gonna be. You know, like they're getting marketed, they're like promoted. They're literally paid actresses and actors, is what they are. You know, they literally hire them out like talent, like they find an actor and have them play the role. So it's like a lot of scripted content they do and stuff, but it's really cool. You know, it's professional VTubing. Where like I would say I'm considered an amateur VTuber. I stream on Twitch for fun. You know, like I do it for fun as a fun project, and I get to do arts and stuff I want to do. So yeah. Any other questions? Okay, we'll start at the front, I guess. So it let me open that program real quick. That is VTube Studio. This is actually that program. I don't know what this is open for. So VTube Studio, this is VTube Studio. I'm using the basic camera tracker that comes with it on here, but like I said, normally I use so iPads and iPhones have what is the name of that program? They have the newer ones. Anything 10 and up, I think, has this facial tracking software, Face ID, and it tracks like. Oops, I was not looking at it when it went on. It tracks like really, really good. The webcam's not bad. I mean, depending on your model, like some of them can look a little more funky. You can actually, let me do this real quick. I gotta resync it. So let me pull up the camera real quick so you can see. Whoops, I meant to do that in there. Okay, so there's my face. And then you can, like, you're supposed to look straight on when you do it, and I was looking to the side, so it's a little off, but like you can actually resync it at any point. It'll recalibrate. Or you can just like break it if you want and look at the side and try to calibrate it. Now it's like all blinking and going crazy, but I probably recalibrate like 10 times a stream, to be honest, because when I DJ, I'm all over the place, I'm bouncing, and I tend to go out of the camera and like I'm actually physically DJing. So like I'm like physically DJing, I'm like, well, you know, jumping around and getting into it, and then I'm like, and I'm flying across the screen, and he's like this is literally how the tracking works. And VTube Studio is a little bit on the more complicated side, I would say, but there's so much more you can do with it. Like this program actually has, let me show you. Whoops, wrong button. I meant to close it. So here, you double click and it comes up. So like it has different backgrounds, stuff like that. Oops, that's just the plain one. Fruit Festival. You can actually load items. So like you can take any GIF or any image and you can actually add it to your scene. So like this is one that comes with the anime head pad, right? You select it. You can have 30 items in front of you, 30 items behind you. You can have it pinned to your model. So like we'll pin it to the model. Okay, so like we can blow it up. Okay, let's put it here. Yep. So look, it's literally tracking like to my head, right? You know, you can just pile stuff on you if you want to, you know, and you can just throw them away at any point. And you can leave them up, and they just added on here where you can save the scene. So if you have a bunch of items on you, you can actually save it so you can just reload it at any point. And then you just capture it in like OBS Studio or whatever you're streaming with, and it works really good. And in fact, I've used this for animation. In that opening, some of the scenes I did was just literally, I had this going into OBS with a green screen on it, and I just filmed it. And I was going like dancing. And then I literally just used it as an animation in the thing, and I didn't have to sit there and hand animate it, which I usually do in After Effects. So like literally you could use it for animation reasons. I actually rigged every single one of my characters just for that reason, that I could actually use them for stuff like this. So like, let's see, what's that one? Oh, it's a Moogle. So I'm using shortcut keys. You can program to keys. The problem is I have so many costumes, I'm running out of key, and they can only do two key combinations. So normally I have a stream deck, like those, I don't know if you've seen those things. I have the XL, and right now I'm taking up 2 pages of the XL for all the costumes. And I actually am running out of space. I have to make another 3rd page of it just for costumes, because I have like, things like glow sticks or a sword, which doesn't work on the Moogle, but like a sword and rapier, float, and honestly, I can't remember the shortcuts anymore. I'm so used to using the stream. Gargura costume, so like a ton of different ones. But hey, I found a shortcut I'm not using. Stormtrooper. Would you like to see? I actually make them on this laptop. I could show you if you'd like to see it. Oh yeah. Just ignore that. Yes, no, I'll show you. Here, let me pull it up. Where is it? Live 2Ds. Captain Krabs, version 28. I have a lot of versions because I keep adding more costumes. I usually add like 3 costumes at a time. So like I'll design them or something. I like doing it on stream, so I'll like design the art, and then usually I'll rig them on stream if I have the time. But rigging can take a long time depending on the costume. So also I come up with really crazy ideas sometimes. Okay, so this is live 2D. This is what it looks like. I rigged it up where these are like switches, right? There's on and off. So you can turn the pirate hat on and off. And that is the shortcut key. So when you turn it on and off, it just turns on and off. Like I have different, oops, you gotta turn off the pirate hat for it. But, this is a Nanner's hair. And I have a Wacom, so I can, when I'm drawing, I can have a little thing in his hand. Or I have a poker one, Uno. I have like different faces. The oof face and stuff like that. Well, the way this works is here, I'll show you. This is like the physics can like do a test with it. So this is the physics system. So this is he's tracking my mouse right now. So you can see how he looks around. And then you can actually just turn on the different things. Here's like googly eyes. I put physics on these, so it actually moves when he moves. So this was my April Fool's joke last year, and I just honestly wanted to see if I could do it. Like I didn't know if it would be possible to make this with physics, but yeah. It's definitely probably, I think it's my #1 redeem because I put it as a channel point redeem on Twitch. People just want the googly eyes all the time. I think it's creepy, but but yeah, I mean, like literally the physics engine gets a little more complicated, I would say. And I wouldn't recommend anyone start with physics if you want to learn how to do this stuff. But yeah, it's like, like all these are broken up. Like every piece is, you can see kind of like, here's all the pieces, right? So like, here's his hand. Oh, I can't get a hold of the hand because he's got so many layers going on, but and then they're broken up down here and grouped up. And like, here's them turned off. You can see there's Goku hair when it's off. It has hearts, and they're all kind of like grouped into different things, and, headbands and bunny ears. He has bunny ears, Jedi belt. And then, like when they're triggered on and off, you can animate them and rig them. And then the reason I have like this kind of rig is because I'm using physics. So like, his body does not have any physics because he's a crab. I didn't think he needed to be jiggly, so I didn't. But on other characters I've made him jiggly before. I unfortunately did not bring any of those ones with me, but I can show you an example on another character actually that I did bring though. Yeah, and basically what it is, you make it in this program and you export it. And then once you export it, you do have to set up your triggers, but like you can just pull it into VTube Studio and use it if it works. Yeah, I usually have to export it multiple times because like you'll put the blink in or you put the mouth tracking in. Well, you export it and test it because you're like, it doesn't work. You don't want to like go back later and forgot where you messed it up. Like you want to be able to go back. So here's one I made for, this was actually a commission that somebody wanted. They wanted this Chibi Cactus. She had a cactus character, and she's like, and this one does like a almost 90-degree turn. Can look around, it has maracas. Cha-cha-cha. This one actually tracks your, the hands go up and down with your eyebrows again. I'm a big fan of doing chibi characters that do that. So you can get hand tracking now. VTube Studio supports hand tracking with a webcam. It is not great yet. It's not there yet. It'll eventually get there, but like it can do basic hand gestures. You can like sign it so when you do peace sign, it'll smile or whatever you want. Or you can like literally try to track your hands, but it's not, it's beta or alpha. I think probably alpha actually, probably more. But yeah, like there's a lot in this. You could probably do like an 8-hour panel on this to learn how to do live 2D. It's definitely complicated. There is a lot of tutorials. The company is out of Japan, but they do have a lot of documentation in English. Their documentation kind of reads like stereo instructions, though. It's not the easiest thing to follow. Honestly, though, there's a billion people asking the same questions you are, though. And if you Google it, you'll probably find somebody with an answer. I find so many threads just through random websites that are like, here's how to fix that. Here's, like, here's how to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I'm not the only one having this problem, obviously. Like, I guarantee every single problem, no matter how stupid it feels, somebody had that same problem and asked about it. And if not, you could always ask, there's a billion ways, but yeah, live 2D is really, I'm a big fan of doing the live 2D stuff over the 3D stuff, but the 3D stuff is, I would say it's a little easier to get into just because like it's a 3D model. You can literally turn 360 if you have the tracking for it. I mean, there's some people like Project Miko, she has a $30,000 suit. It's a full body tracking suit. She uses 100% 3D in the Unreal Engine, so she literally can walk around and infect her environment. Like it's crazy, but not everybody has $30,000 to drop on one of those things. So, and that's quite an investment, but pretty sure she's gotten that paid back tenfold. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of like been my hobby for over a year, and it's been fun. Any other question? Yeah, I would say a lot of them, like Hololive, they're almost all live 2D, and that's probably the biggest company, that everyone knows. They started out, I don't know if they have any 3D VTubers anymore, do they? I know every one of their 2D models has a 3D model because they do VR chat and stuff like that. So they've made multiple models for them, but they always use 2D for almost everything. Yeah, like V Shoujo, which is probably the big one on Twitch. They use 2D, but some of them, actually 2 of them, I think, are using 3D right now. But all of them also have a 3D model. But like I said, they use VR chat. That's really why they got 3D models. They also do virtual concerts because a lot of them could sing, especially in Hololive. So they actually hold in like paid concerts online where people can come and watch them, and they're literally doing it live with tracking and singing, walking around the stage, stuff like that. So it's gotten big, like especially Hololive. They're just ridiculously popular right now. One of the girls had her birthday up in New York Square, like in the square on the big billboard and stuff. It's crazy. So, but yeah, 2D is definitely big, and people love it because it looks more like an anime, right? The 3D models, there's some modelers out there that can make it look, like a 2D model. It's crazy, but not a ton of them. I say a lot of them look 3D, and you can tell they're 3D. The mouth tracking usually is not quite as strong as some of the 2D tracking because the 2D tracking, you're literally animating it yourself like anime, right? Like you can actually make the smile look like a smile, whereas it tries to track your smile, and it doesn't always work. So that's kind of why I like it. Also, it's really hard to do in my opinion, a good chibi model in 3D that tracks well for the kind of stuff I use it for. So yeah. But yeah, all the big ones pretty much all use live 2D at this point. Most of them. There's a few still that kind of go between. I think all of them have a live 2D model, though, to be honest. I think Zentrea was like one of the bigger ones on Twitch, and she was using 3D, but then she got a 2D model. And now she just switches between whatever she feels like at the time. So her 2D model looks a lot like her 3D model, though. It's probably one of those very expensive ones, I'm guessing. So, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. 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 Like on Twitch or on YouTube, are you saying? Like, I would say on YouTube, to be honest, I think there's less VTubers on YouTube, but we're talking about a giant market, though. 10 million people. Like, it's like, comparative VTubers are small on YouTube. On Twitch, though, if you search like any game category at this point, like especially Genshin Impact, I would say you're going to get at least half of them are VTubers at this point. It's getting more saturated for sure. I wouldn't say it's oversaturated yet. There's a lot of, I'm in a weird spot because I'm not a human. So I have a human model I made that you saw him in that intro thing, but like I rarely ever use him. I just made it for fun. Everyone calls him Captain Thirst Trap because they think he's really hot or something. So I don't use him very often because I'm family friendly, but he's funny to pull up every once in a while and just harass people and chat with. But there's a lot of human VTubers. It's very common. Obviously, a lot of people are used to being a human, so they want to be a human. There's a lot of people that are animals that are human. So they're like a cat, but they're actually just human with cat ears. Or there's even one that's a crab, and I think the only thing she has that's crab is some of her clothes. They say they're a crab, but they're human. I think there's definitely a little bit of saturation with humans compared to like say chibi or like animals and stuff like that. But it's getting bigger. There's a lot of, there's actually a VTuber now I just found the other day that somebody sent to me. He's actually a UI. He's literally his overlay, like the overlay around his game, and he's got eyeballs and a mouth at the bottom. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it's really awesome. I'm like, that's awesome, dude. He doesn't stream much, unfortunately, but I caught him a few times. I'm like, this is a really cool idea. Like, it's just different, and he doesn't really have to do anything. He's literally just doesn't move. He's the UI, so his eyes and mouth move, and that's it. So, yeah. Due to my strong ADHD, I don't always keep it. I used to be really big into it. When I first started streaming stuff, I was like 6 days a week. I was doing 5 hours a night and stuff. But then I had kids, and that changed everything. Because while they're awake, I'm not streaming. So it's hard. Like, I try to keep a schedule. What I tend to do is I always keep my DJing on Saturdays right now, because it's basically I tested out a bunch of nights, and that was one everyone liked. And so I was like, great, Saturday night's party night, it's DJ night. And I try to stick to my normal schedule. And always sticking to a schedule is very important, in my opinion. I'll be honest, I have not seen a lot of VTubers or streamers in general that don't stick to a schedule that grow. To be honest, people want to know when you're streaming, and honestly, they want to know what your content's going to be, which is something I probably fail at. I can literally be sitting there 10 minutes before I hit play going, I don't know what to do tonight. I was supposed to do art, but I don't feel like it because I just did a 10-hour workday at work doing art, and so I'll switch it up, but variety is the thing. And once your people realize they're watching, are into that and okay with it, I'm very open about it. I'm like, guys, I can be really flaky about this stuff. My ADHD kicks in and I'm just like, boom, 360 the other way. But I try to always at least stream on that day and show up at that time. And that's what they come for. They know the content might be different than what they're expecting. And I don't put a schedule out for that reason, but I do have a schedule. So I don't every week. Some people put out a thing and they're like, I'm streaming this on this day and this on this day. I only do that for collabs when I'm, literally somebody else is relying on me to show up for that stream, I feel like at least telling your times and be sticking to it as much as possible and being very open about it, it makes a huge difference. And once you get a fan base of loyal viewers and friends basically online, they'll stick through whatever you do. They don't care if you switch your schedule. They're just there for you, which is awesome. So, but it is important to keep a schedule. It really is. I would say it's probably one of the most important things you can do, to be honest. Everything else kind of you learn to do. You learn to get better at talking. You learn to get better at, interacting. I actually used to run Twitch streams for ZeniMax online, Elder Scrolls Online. I ran their Twitch stream and for Breach and a few other game companies, and did all that in the graphics and set it up and ran it from behind. And I would do all the marketing and stuff for that too as well. So I got to talk to Twitch and talk to how this stuff, how this stuff works and how they promote you and stuff like that. And Twitch puts people on the front page, and weirdly enough, being a family friendly streamer, I find that I get thrown on the front page a lot because I'm ad friendly. And you got to remember, Twitch is trying to make money, right? And so and they're making money off of you. They make half of everything you get, so, or more. And, it's a business. You got to remember that. And so, it's like any job, right? You want to make your boss happy. If you're making them money, they're happy. And I'm family friendly, which means any ad could play on my stream. Literally, they can play whatever they want because no company is going to complain. It's kid friendly. I'm not doing anything that could offend people. I'm not going to play, an ad for My Little Pony on me if I'm playing, Dead by Dawn or something like that, right? So I find that like there's an up and coming thing where they put streamers on the front page, just like when somebody's kind of hot at the time, or honestly, it seems pretty random. And I've popped up in there so many times and gotten so many viewers from that. It's kind of crazy, you know, like not saying you should be family friendly or not. I mean, it doesn't matter, but like just something to think about, you know, like having that tag on you actually helps. And there's also a VTuber tag you can tag in a Twitch stream. So it's kind of cool. I feel like Twitch is a little bit more supportive of VTubers than YouTube at this point, but YouTube, I mean, the VTubers are just a drop in the bucket for YouTube, right? Like, just like gaming in general, honestly, like, there's a huge audience for everything on YouTube. Like, they're not supporting one over the other right now. It's just like, whatever brings in income. It's a company. So, yeah, hopefully that answers. Yeah. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, embrace it. Embrace the crab. That's what I tell everybody. But, you know, there's. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I was, yes. I'm sorry, I'm horrible at those. I'm still working on pronouns. It's she. Sorry, she. He's literally right in the middle. She is. God, she's in the middle of it, so he's still allowing both of them right now. But it's like for me, because I've known him for so long. I actually knew him in real life for years. I get it, yeah. And the problem is I've known her longer as a male than a female, and so I'm still used to saying he. And so like it's been harder for me to transition to that and saying it correctly, but he's very forgiving about it because he's like, you know, I've known you for too long. It's fine. But, you know, he's still in the middle of it and he's still like switching people over. Yes. And I always tell people to just keep reminding me if I'm saying it wrong because I need to get better at it. So, yeah. Anything else? Any question? Yeah. Yeah. It depends what you want to do because they're different. Like Twitch is a streaming platform. YouTube is not really. You can stream on YouTube, but that's not what gets you to grow. What gets you to grow is your VODs, your videos, right? This is how I see even like the biggest streamers. They could have 1,000 people watching them on Twitch, and they go over and they have 300 people on YouTube. And it's like, because people don't look for streaming as much on YouTube because it's not promoted. It's really hard to find streamers on YouTube. I mean, there is a live tag now, but even if you search for VTuber live, like half the time you're just going to get a bunch of people's recorded videos. You're not getting, because they were live or they put live in their title. It's not, YouTube has not embraced streaming as like the same way. So YouTube in the long game is better because the videos are, like if you ever want to get monetized and stuff like that, YouTube is a better platform. They give you 70-30 split right off the bat. Twitch is a 50-50, you know, like on everything. It's very hard to get partnered on Twitch, but YouTube is also very hard to get partnered. Like you have to have 4,000 viewed hours in a year, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot. And it's hard. I feel like it's hard to grow on both channels. It just depends. Like, I was lucky. I started VTubing right when it started getting big. So, and I was also just something different. When I started DJing, there's literally right now only 2 DJs that are VTubers on Twitch still. And, you know, like I just hit this weird niche where it was like, I was already DJing for about 3 years on Mixer, and then I was on Twitch doing it. And there's a sea of DJs on Twitch. I mean, like, especially last year, COVID hit, nobody could get a job. Everyone went to Twitch, started DJing on there and found they could make money that way, you know, and we're talking thousands of DJs on at all times. I mean, even like, you know, Deadmau5, Darude, they all stream on Twitch, you know, Jazzy Jeff, he's on Twitch all the time. You know, and it's weird. Like there's, I can't tell you what kind of niche to go for because you kind of have to follow it. Like variety streaming is hard to start. If you want to be a variety streamer, it's the hardest to grow. In my opinion, I am a variety streamer, but once you start picking up and start, you know, like introducing, doing, I always say throw a wrench in it. I do weird things like Twitch added a hot tub stream thing. I don't know if you remember that. It was like a category for basically people to sit in their bikinis and like, you know, make money basically. And that day, right before work, I spent like 3 hours making a hot tub scene, which is literally a pot on a stove. And I was like, I'm going to make this. And tonight I'm going to stream in the hot tub stream category because it came out that day. And it was one of my most popular streams. Like I had over 100 people in there. It was ridiculously busy at the time. And it literally looked at that category and it's just like, you know, bikini, crab in a hot pot. It was so random. And I just like, and people just kept popping in because I got thrown on the front page. Because once again, family friendly. So like I got thrown on the front page because they're like, we can promote this. And, you know, it's like, it's not even like Twitch physically doing that. Like that's an automated thing, right? They're looking for stuff like that. And like doing that brought a whole bunch of new viewers in. Like the DJing thing brought a whole bunch of viewers. I got rated by Iron Mouse, who's arguably one of the biggest VTubers on Twitch. You know, she averages usually 6,000 to 7,000 people every stream, and she rated with 6,000 people, and she rated me twice. And it was like, it almost broke my stream the first time. It was ridiculous. I had to shut off everything, alerts, everything. I'm like, wait, because people were spamming emotes, and I guess she just randomly found me the first time, and the second time they took a vote, and they voted for me. So it was cool, you know, like it was neat, and I think it was just because I was doing something different, you know, like there was nobody else doing it. And so finding that niche and stuff, I feel like YouTube's the same way. You got to find a niche because, I mean, if you want to do gaming, so are millions of other people doing it, right? There's millions of people doing it. You know, even podcasts, millions of people doing it. Like, I mean, there's even non-VTubers, non-VTubers, you're still competing. I feel like on YouTube, you're competing in a category that's mixed with it. Whereas I feel like on Twitch, there's definitely an audience for just VTubers. You know, like a lot of anime fans, a lot of people are just like looking into it. On YouTube, a lot of people, in my opinion, I feel follow just HoloLive or Ninja Samdi. I don't know how to say it, which is, I think India originally. I can't remember where they're from. Ninjas, I can't say it. Is that you saying it right? Okay. And they're like the two probably bigger, I'd say bigger. HoloLive is definitely the biggest. And a lot of people I know, that's all they watch on YouTube. They just watch HoloLive all the time, but they also stream. There's like, you know, somebody streaming almost every night. So, you know, and they have English ones now. So, which is, you know, decimated VTubers on YouTube, unfortunately. It's like indie VTubers, they call them. So it can be tough, you know, but you stick to it and it grows. So, yeah. Any other questions? Anybody else? Anything? No? Sure. So I got to do it tonight in a hotel room. Thankfully, not on hotel Wi-Fi because I told them that was not happening. The 1.2 megabyte internet is not going to cut it. So what I do is actually on my home desk, which I have 2 desks and I have 4 computers. This is one of them. And this is the one I DJ on. I actually have the DJ software on this. And I have my DJ board like right here. And then I have a 32-inch TV right here. And I put visuals on it because I actually do VJing as well. I can control all the visuals behind. And on stream, they're behind me. You can see all the flashing stuff going on. But I can control that. I also have a Novation Launchpad, which is like this thing with a whole bunch of buttons that you can trigger stuff. And then I also have my computer over here. That's my streaming machine. That's you. This is complicated. It's got a capture card going between the two of them. And then also I have another machine over here, and that one is mostly just for Twitch chat because I have so much stuff going on at once that I have like 6 programs on my streaming machine. I don't want to run extra, so I run the Twitch chat separate. It's definitely hard. It's a lot to juggle. In fact, I struggled. Like when I first started doing it, I was like, this sounds cool. Let's try it. You know, like I'm going to try it. This is weird to do a VTuber and DJ, you know, but like it was hard enough learning to watch chat and DJ, like when you're actually DJing. And I get into it and I was like, oh yeah, it's like a club, you know, club in my house. But then you're like trying to answer chat, and I'm interactive. I like to interact. So, yeah, like it got adding another wrench into it, which is the VTubing, and then also learning to always move your face because I want my guy to like, you know, wiggle his hands around and stuff like that. Is literally like me DJing like this, trying to look for songs, and then also going like that the entire time because I have to move my eyebrows to get his hands to move. He has glow sticks. I'm just going like this, like crazy, trying to get the glow sticks to go up and down, you know, like this. And I also can grab him at any point in software and drag him around the screen, so you can actually make him dance. So I actually, when I make him dance, I'm literally grabbing him with my mouse and going up and down like this to make him bounce and jump around. And you get better at that where you can make it look a little smoother. I mean, it's never gonna look like a real animation, but like you know, lean into it, make him jump, lean the other way, make him jump. I've gotten very good at making him like wiggle and dance back and forth, you know, and really get into it. And people love that. They just like, so they're like, he's jumping, yeah, let's go, you know, they get into it. Whereas if you're just standing still, it's hard. But juggling all of that at once, I wouldn't recommend it. It's very stressful and it'll wear you out really quick. About 2 hours in, I'm just like dying every night. It's just like brutal, but you get into it. You get excited about it. You know, I like DJing. It's fun. So, yeah. Anybody else? We got like a few minutes left. Anybody? No? Okay. Well, then we'll wrap up. I got one more thing to show you real quick here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Where is it? Is it? Okay. Oh. Check this out. This is tomorrow night. I will be DJing. This will actually be my first time ever live DJing. I have DJed for over 3 years, but I've only DJed on stream. So if you guys can make it out, it's in the MAGFest arena tomorrow night. There's like 4 of us. It's gonna be pretty fun. It's like the end of party thing. And also tomorrow or tonight, 7:30, I have a panel called Branding Your Stream. So if you guys want to learn more like the ins and outs of like marketing, color theory, all this kind of stuff, it's going to be a little more into the details of that kind of stuff and like what works and like all the tricks. I've been doing it over 18 years. Like I'm going to do some detailed stuff on that. And then tomorrow I have a panel, I think at 3, that's it's a game, getting into the game industry. So if anybody has any questions about getting into the game industry, it's a full Q&A. Just, you know, ask your questions. Also, I'm doing reel reviews. If anybody is an artist or an animator and they want to have their reel reviewed about like what, and I can tell you exactly what they're looking for in the game industry and like what to change in your reel. So if you guys have that, bring it tomorrow, 3 o'clock. I think it's in here actually, pretty sure. And then I also have a Q&A tomorrow. That's just a general Q&A for anything. So if you guys have any other questions, that's the last time, you know, I'll be here and then I'll be DJing and then that's it. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it very much. Yay. Oh, feel free to grab a sticker. I have a bunch of stickers if you'd like.